Welcome back to my channel. I have been spending a lot of time planning and prepping for this year's balcony garden in the last couple weeks. We got our over-the-rail planter set up on the balcony. I ordered a lot of seeds online. I got some seeds here in town at the Farm and Home store, and I've just been doing a lot of researching and watching a lot of videos, just trying to soak in as much information as I possibly can and applying that knowledge to our garden this year and hoping that we have a lot of success because of that. In this week's video, I'm going to catch you up on our balcony garden and show you what it looks like currently, talk about what I'm going to be growing in, talk about what we're going to be growing, and we're going to plant some seedlings today because our last frost date is May 8th, so we are looking at about 6 weeks before then, so it's time to start our seeds, so we're ready to go when that date comes. I'm really excited about this year's garden. I've already got some things direct sown. We direct sowed spinach, summer bib lettuce, cilantro, green onions, and we also direct sowed some carrots in the last week. This past weekend, we took a trip down to southern Missouri to visit Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds for my birthday, and my boyfriend proposed to me, which was a huge surprise, and I had no idea that he was going to do it, so it made the trip even more special than it already was. So I now have a fiance, which is a nice feeling. It's really exciting, and that's just a little life update for you guys, so when I say fiance in future videos, you know. But yeah, we went down to southern Missouri to visit the store and got a bunch of seeds for the garden. It was a really fun experience. They have a beautiful property. I definitely recommend you go if you like to travel and like to see stuff like that. It was definitely worth the trip. We're gonna start out this video by showing you what I'm gonna be growing this year. We're gonna talk about all the different varieties that we're growing this year, and we're also gonna talk about what season they will be planted in. I have a lot of big plans for this garden, even though it's in a really small space, and I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that some of it, if not all of it, works out. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys, so if you're interested in hearing about any of this, please keep on watching. We're gonna run through our early season crops first. This is everything that I've direct sown or will be direct sowing before our last frost date. On March 23rd, I direct sowed cilantro, spinach, summer bib lettuce, short and sweet carrots, and green onions or evergreen bunching onions. And then today, I'm going to be planting Sugar Bond snap peas and Tom Thumb peas. These are really cool because they are kind of like the dwarf orange hat tomato or the micro dwarf orange hat cherry tomato. They're designed to grow in a small container like this, so I'm going to be planting these in a 6-inch pot outdoors, and I'm going to be planting these in a 12-inch container and trellising them. And I love to snack on these, so I'm really excited about these peas, and I hope they turn out. We're also going to be direct sowing golden beets today. I have only recently gotten into beets as an adult. I never ate them as a child, and I'm really excited to grow these golden ones. They don't stain everything like the dark red ones do, and I want to attempt to make pickles with these. And I also want to attempt to make pickles with radishes. I really like radishes raw, so I just want to try out a new way to consume them. So I'm going to be growing these. And these are going to be interplanted with our carrots and spinach and lettuce. They're going to be growing right in the middle of where I planted the rows of the carrot, spinach, and lettuce. And the cool thing about radishes is they grow so fast that it'll be really easy to interplant them, especially this variety that I got at Baker Creek. It's ready in 18 days, and I'm really stoked to plant these, and hopefully they come up soon. We will also be growing potatoes this year. We're gonna grow them in grow bags. I've never grown potatoes on my own. When I was a kid, I helped my Oma with it. So I am really excited to try it on my own this year and to try growing them in grow bags. I've had these potatoes sitting in a sunny window so that they can sprout. And here in a couple weeks, I will be slicing off each eye and letting them dry out and then planting them in the grow bags. The varieties we're growing are Red Pontiac and Yukon Gold, And I picked these up at our local Tyson's, which is just like a farm and home store. And I am really excited to grow these because we love potatoes. Once our frost date passes, I'm going to be putting Grishkova and Gold Nugget cherry tomatoes out into the garden. These are dwarf style tomatoes. I got them from Tomato Fest, which is a site that has a ton of different varieties of dwarf tomatoes and rare tomatoes. I'm really excited about these. They're both really cold tolerant early varieties of tomatoes, so hopefully we have great success with these. I'm also growing an orange hat cherry tomato indoors. I'll insert a clip of what mine looks like right now, but this is a micro dwarf variety, which is really cool. They grow in a 6-inch pot, and mine is starting to get its first set of flowers, which I'm very, very happy about. And it's self-pollinating, so you just tap on the flowers and then the fruit's set and you can eat them. So this one is growing really well so far. The herbs that we're going to be growing this year include sage, basil, rosemary, and oregano. We're going to attempt to grow a muncher cucumber in a grow bag. And then for pollinators, which are definitely necessary, since I'm up on a balcony, I'm not going to be around a lot of, natural things that attract pollinators. I don't have a lot of plants near where we live. It's kind of out in a big open field. So I want to grow the Sweet Alyssum, which is a dwarf variety. And this is going to be an understory crop on quite a few of my planters because it grows so short. And I think that'll work out really nicely. And then I'm also growing night and day nasturtium, and I'm really excited about the nasturtium because not only is it beautiful, but it's actually edible. So I'm gonna show how you can eat this, and I think I'm gonna make nasturtium pesto and then also pickle the seeds, and the pickled nasturtium seeds kind of taste like capers, I've read, so that'll be fun. My fiance and I really enjoy eating peppers. I can't wait for the day when we have a large garden and we can grow all the varieties that we want, but this year we're gonna have to keep it relatively small. We're gonna be growing some jalapenos in a grow bag, and then we're also growing some Santa Fe Grande peppers and some sweet red cherries. These are both smaller plants and they'll do well in containers, thankfully, so these should be really tasty. And then we are gonna grow some beans. I'm gonna put these in one of my railing containers, and they're bush beans, so they won't need to be trellised. And if we have time or space at the end of the season, I'm gonna be trying to grow some Manitoba tomatoes as well. And lastly, for my late summer, fall / winter garden, I'm gonna be growing some Landis winter lettuce, some Parisian carrots, which are really cute, some round black Spanish radishes, which I've never seen before, but I couldn't resist picking them up when we saw them at Baker Creek. They are cold weather loving, and I think it'll be a fun thing to grow in the garden. Goth radishes. And then these teeny tiny bok choys are called He-Do Tiny. I'm really excited to grow these. I love bok choy, and they also do well in the late summer and fall, so these will be fun to grow. And lastly, we're gonna be attempting to grow blue curled Scotch kale. I'm gonna grow this in the early fall and attempt to overwinter kale for the first time. I've seen a lot of videos of people in grow zones that are near ours that have success with this, so I'm hoping we do too, and that way we can have some fresh greens even into the fall months. Now that I've walked you through everything I plan on growing in the garden this year, let's head out to the balcony and get some peas, radishes, and beets planted. Now that I've shown you everything we're going to be planting this season, let's talk about the containers that we're going to be growing our garden in. These railing containers hold about 5 gallons of soil, and I got them at our local Ace Hardware store. These containers on their own would fly off with the first gust of wind that hit them, so we went ahead and drilled holes in the bottom for drainage and so we could put zip ties through and secure them to the railing. It's very windy where we live, and we're also on the top floor of our apartment building, so having them reinforced just gives me peace of mind so that I don't come home from work and see them scattered about on the ground in front of our apartment building. Now that you've seen our container setup, let's talk about what I filled our containers with. The majority of the mix is a high-quality potting soil that's designed for container gardens. I also added earthworm castings to each container and a big scoop of perlite just to help keep the soil aerated. And finally, I added a big scoop of Biotone starter to each container. And then I got all of that nice and mixed together. That's all for this video. I want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me. If you're curious to see the progress of my balcony garden this year, please subscribe. Next week, we will be planting potatoes, and hopefully I have some updates on the garden to share with you. I want to thank you again for watching, and I am really looking forward to this year's gardening season and sharing it with you guys. I'll see you on the next one.